Shah Waliullah was born in the year 1703 in the Indian city of Muzaffarnagar during the late Mughal period. He was born into an influential family of Muslim scholars, and his father worked as an advisor to the Mughal king known as Aurangzeb. However, after the death of Aurangzeb, the Mughal Empire began to collapse due to infighting between princes. As a result, other states such as the Maratha and Sikh states began to take control of India. At the same time, the British took advantage of the internal weakness of India and began to gain a foothold in the region. In order to escape the chaos and war, Shah Waliullah left India during his youth and traveled to the Ottoman Empire in order to complete his Islamic studies. He spent many years in the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, where he memorized the Holy Quran, mastered the Arabic language, and studied medicine. After returning to India, Shah Waliullah established his own Islamic school, where he called for religious and social reforms in order to save the declining Mughal state from being overpowered by Hindu kingdoms. Because of his vast knowledge and eloquence, thousands of students gathered around Shah Waliullah, and he was eventually noticed by the Mughal king known as Muhammad Shah, who built a larger school for him so that he could accommodate more students. In his speeches, Shah Waliullah called on Indian Muslims to abandon un-Islamic practices such as extravagant wedding ceremonies, and he called on them to focus on tackling poverty and reducing inequality. He stated, "O you self-proclaimed preachers, you have left the straight path and wandered on wrong paths. You are calling people to false practices by adopting every deviant ritual. Was this the way of the Prophet?" Besides calling for social reforms, Shah Waliullah also called for political reforms, and he wrote letters to Mughal princes and governors advising them to be just towards the people. In one of his letters to the Mughal princes, he stated, "O princes, do you not fear God? How is it that you have so completely thrown yourself into the pursuit of momentary pleasures and have neglected the people? The result is that the strong are devouring the weak. All your mental faculties are directed towards providing yourself with food and women for enjoyment and pleasure. You do not turn your attention to anything except good clothes and magnificent palaces." Shah Waliullah eventually lost hope in the Mughals as they turned a blind eye to his advice and were getting increasingly close to the British East India Company. This corruption and weakness led to more and more land being conquered by regional warlords who oppressed the people and looted their wealth. Therefore, Shah Waliullah stopped calling on the Mughals to reform and instead wrote a letter to the king of Afghanistan known as Ahmed Shah Durrani, asking him to help the Muslims of India. In this letter, he stated, "If the Muslims remain this weak, the name of Islam would not survive. The condition of the Muslims here is pitiful. Power is in the hands of the Marathas and they plunder our wealth. The majority of Muslim scholars have been bought by them. Defeating them is not an easy task. However, if the warriors of Islam gather their courage, this task is not difficult." After receiving this letter, Ahmed Shah Durrani launched a military campaign against the Marathas and defeated them at the Battle of Panipat in 1761. Shah Waliullah continued to advise Muslim rulers in India throughout his life, and he continued to call for political and social reforms until he passed away in the year 1762 in the city of Delhi.